Hi, I'm Bill Ayres, and I've been speaking for about 15 years all over Europe and North America at user groups, community events, and big commercial conferences such as Ignite. And in that 15 years, I feel like I've become a bit of an expert on getting rejections. I've had a lot of rejections, believe me. Some of them really frustrating, for example, rival commercial conferences, and because I've agreed to speak at one of them, the other conference rejected. Or on one occasion, a big vendor conference, I was rejected, but they took my title and abstract and had one of their own speakers deliver it. Now, apart from these extreme cases, most of the time there's no clear reason for a rejection and you'll get a standard email message. It may just be that your topic didn't fit the agenda, or there were too many similar topics submitted by other speakers. There's an element of luck involved as well, and sometimes the content team are just doing the best they can, and maybe they didn't have that much time to figure out how to shoehorn your talk into the agenda because they're usually very, very busy. So, a few rules. Number one, take it on the chin. Don't pester them or complain. That's almost always counterproductive. Try not to take it personally, even if your best friend was on the selection committee. And of course, after 15 years, a rejection is for me is just like a knife to the heart every time, still is. It doesn't get any easier. I've had my whole day ruined by a rejection to a conference I didn't even want to go to. It hurts, and you just have to deal with it. Rule 2, don't overanalyze. It's a bit like football. The difference between success and failure is quite narrow, and even past performance is no guarantee. I've given talks to packed rooms, great feedback scores, and then on a very positive note, you think it would be churlish not to submit to the same conference next year, and then you get rejected. It's not just about you. The job of a content team for a conference is to come up with an agenda for the audience. If you're part of that agenda, then great. But it's not their job to provide you with speaking opportunities. I don't even advise asking them why you weren't picked. Unless they volunteer that information, which is quite rare, they won't probably have time to tell you, and in any case, these discussions are often held in confidence. So try to resist that, and also try and resist the temptation to doom scroll the list of successful speakers. It's just too depressing. Rule 3, keep trying. So if at first you don't succeed, try. Okay, 3 tries. I think that's enough because it takes a lot of time to submit to an event. You have to study their agenda, think up a catchy title, an engaging abstract. It's got to be technically accurate 6 months in the future. It all takes time, and that's a precious resource. So I'm not going to waste time on an event where the content team really don't want to know. So after 2 or 3 rejections, I'll probably stop submitting to that particular event. And rule 4 is aim lower. So the starting place for most speakers is local user groups. When I started, even that seemed like a bit of a closed shop. And, I'd offer my services to user group organizers, and on quite a few occasions, I got pretty short shrift, I can tell you. Fortunately, the situation has improved with many user groups setting aside time for new speakers, which is good. Now, these are often short lightning talks, and you should be aware that these are often the hardest because of the extreme time pressure. It might only be 5 or 10 minutes. You can't recover from mistakes or technical issues, so my advice for these kinds of talks is to keep it simple. And then with a few of those under your belt, you can graduate to the full local user group session of typically an hour, maybe even 2 hours, which in many ways is easier. You can then go on to do the one-day community conferences, which quite often nowadays include new speaker slots. Now, when it comes to the commercial conferences where the attendees have to pay, they'll generally be very focused on giving the attendee a good experience, and so they'll be much less likely to choose speakers without a proven track record. They're looking for speakers who are experts in their topic, have the skills to present it, and will be well prepared and professional. So some conferences will even ask for a list of where you've spoken in the last couple of years and what the feedback scores were. So if you submit as a complete newbie, your chances of selection at this kind of conference is quite low. So Remember, if at first you don't succeed, aim lower. So to sum up, rejection, take it on the chin, don't overanalyze, keep trying up to a point and aim lower. Good luck.